we see the third dose rate, vaccination rate, it's considerably lower than the first two. In some months from now, down the road, do you worry at all that the fourth dose perhaps will be even lower, considerably lower than the third dose?
Well, the first thing is that, yes, for the first two doses, it was clearly an uptake really widespread throughout the population. It was great for that. And most of the people have been well protected against the virus, and especially for Delta situation in the recent month. Having had two doses is still something that is quite good, but not as good as three doses. And we have to follow the science with that and recommend it to be taken. What we observed is also that more than 87% of the population over 60 is well protected with the third dose. So the people that are really at risk right now, they are not the only one, but really at risk for the sad progression of the BA2 are well vaccinated. So are we concerned about the progression of the willingness or the interest of the population over vaccination? Yes, we're always worried about that throughout the world. But in our experience in Quebec, we have one of the best response from the population to take those innovations and benefit from it, which is great. So we expect that there will be a follow-up on this willingness and with good advices, and especially if we're confronted to a new rise eventually of the COVID situation with that variant or other, we are really confident that the people will follow it and will prevent themselves to develop very sad issues with that.
Also, in keeping with the vaccination question, I wondered, do you have any idea how the fourth dose is doing here in Quebec? And also, do you have any data on whether or not the people that were very concerned about using mRNA vaccines, if Novavax has changed anything for us here in the province?
Yeah. I will answer for the Novavax first. We have some data that a few hundreds of people have already benefited from the Novavax opportunity to be vaccinated because, as you may know, some of the people were reluctant to use the ARN messager potential of vaccination, which was still very good. So with that new tool of Novavax, we think that we're reaching for other people that were just waiting for it to arrive. So that's great. Concerning the other question related to the fourth doses, it's moving very well. Mr. Parry was with me, who's the deputy minister, associate deputy minister in charge of that, was with me earlier today and was confirming that just yesterday we had more than 40,000 people that have received their doses, mostly fourth dose. So should they be in long-term care unit or RPA or citizens that are at home, they are benefiting from it. So we do not have the numbers completed over the four doses, but it's going well.
Just to follow up on what my colleague was asking earlier about the vaccination rates, especially for the third dose, when you look at the numbers of the young adults, 18 to 39-year-olds, the percentage is still very low. It's around 38%. Yeah. It's been like that for quite some time. Yeah. Why do you think it is so low for that young adults to get that third dose, and what needs to be done about it?
Well, it's most probably related to the fact that they are not very afraid from this BA2 situation, and a lot of them feels, in fact, that they are sufficiently immune to get through an infection of COVID. The other thing is that there's a lot of them that's been infected with COVID, and namely Omicron, and now with BA2. So with that, and especially with the situation of Omicron, where it reached a lot of them, they are certainly, most of them will say that, well, I'm now boosted with natural infection, which is fairly true for that. But after 3-4 months, it will be more than okay to get the advantages of the third dose. So we're insisting on that, but it's their choices. But we expect them to feel less protected in the near future, when if there would be another wave coming, let's say later this year, much later this year, then I think that they will agree to get vaccinated.